Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mark family again, where we discuss relationship and marital issues.
Today we are talking about marriage. Marriage as an important factor. A lot of us going into marriage not really knowing what marriage is all about.
Yeah.
We don't really know what we are going to face. You don't really know something until you experience that thing. And that's what happens to a lot of us. We thank God for, how God has blessed us with a lot of people who have experienced most of these things and are able to tell us what to do. So from based on our own experience, we are bringing to you today, some insights, some things that you need to know before you go into marriage. So, yeah, we are not here to hide anything from you. We are not here to start painting anything. We are here to tell you as it is. So, our journey into marriage, we were couples, we were friends, or we were boyfriend and girlfriends, who loved each other.
Just like everybody else.
We were head over heels. We
Yeah.
want to be together.
Yeah.
In fact, before we got married, I started thinking about, how the marriage would be like heaven on earth. All those princess diaries. So yeah, we got into marriage and it was sweet at first, but we got into marriage. I was ready. I think 1 month into the marriage, I got pregnant. I was already pregnant, and before we knew it, our baby came, our first baby. Yeah, then we were, happy. Our baby has come. This is something that represents the both of us, and yeah, but we didn't know that this was a huge responsibility. Yeah, we're still thinking, oh yeah, we can handle it. You see that thing that they say God makes you go through something because of another person is actually true. We have been there, and that's why we are here today to tell you not to make the same mistake we made in the past. And it's not that maybe there are people that were not that. It's not that maybe there were no people, or people had not been talking about marriage, or because we were not exposed to this information as back as then. And it's not that maybe we didn't have our own knowledge. We did. But sometimes putting this thing to work, they said it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
When it's time for you to practice these things out, that's where you start facing most of these things. That's the challenges. So from our own experience, we had our first baby, and everything was going smoothly. We were able to do all of that and all of that. But what we didn't notice then was that, the time that we used to spend together began to reduce because, a child has not come in between us, and I meet most of our times. When my husband comes from work, the first thing he wants to do is to carry the baby, is to play with the baby and all of that. And then, responsibility came in. I started giving. If we were giving each other 100% of time before, the truth is, it's not intentionally, it will reduce.
Yeah.
And this, for some people, I don't know, a lot of people used to say, oh yeah, you can actually, no, you can't. It will reduce the time that because you want to give some time to the baby, you want to attend to the baby, so your time has reduced. And now, most couples, you go ahead like that, not even looking back to check that there's already a vacuum that you need to fill in. We just leave that vacuum like that, thinking, okay, things are still going fine, things are going well. In fact, a lot of us, what we do, even when we are now trying to build up that time together, we put the baby in the middle, and then we are trying to, catch up and all of that. And before you know it, generally in Nigeria, in most places, not even Nigeria, 2 years and below, the second baby will show up. Most times we are not prepared for it, and you still like, okay, fine, you're still trying to juggle, and now the time will reduce. The time that you are giving to that first child will reduce. The time you are giving to your husband will reduce also. And that's one thing we have failed to understand, and we don't really have structure on how to fill in those vacuums, either in your life and in the life of that child. Sometimes even when a new baby comes, we tend to dump the old baby, and that one is now, we don't balance the time that we give to each and everyone so that the love can go around. And then before you know it, before you say Jacob is saying, the third baby has shown his head. And that one is not even like 90%. Maybe let's say that one is like maybe 50% or maybe 40%, because around about that time, responsibility has gone high. You know, school has crept in. The first baby is already going to school. The second baby, diaper and all of that, you know, all of these things are coming in. And most times we are not prepared for this thing. And that is why you see that the love in the marriage begins to go cold. That's why you see that there are a lot of divorces, or divorces just rampant, it's just everywhere. Because you see, that same love that you came into that marriage with, you're no longer getting it. That same person you saw when you came into the marriage is no longer there. You're no longer taking care of yourself as a woman. You are now taking care of the children. Now imagine you are even a woman that has your own business, or you have your own job, your 9 to 5, you do your 9 to 5 job, and then you are trying to make up time, you are trying to also make up time for your children, and then your husband. So most of these things, we need to structure them. We need to put a balance. We need to check up on our spouse, but because you see those children, they will go. So most times we tend to neglect our spouse, and then there's a vacuum, and then you know that vacuum becomes bigger, like it begins to get bigger and wider, and we are not doing anything about it. And before you know it, a lot of them are just striving to keep up to their roles. The woman is just trying to be there, the husband is just trying to, you know, take his responsibility, and everyone is just working towards our marriage, and nothing is working towards our own happiness. We are no longer after our happiness anymore. We are just after about meeting up with the demands that the marriage is bringing. And most times these things, we are caught unaware because we are not prepared for it. Because we are not, you know, not necessarily we were not rightly informed, but because, you know, it's easier said than done, than putting these things.
Expectations are too high.
Yes, our expectations. So we feel maybe the way it used to be when we were cutting, that's how it will be when we start. But we have to, marriage is a bond between two people. It's a commitment. It is something that you have to be dedicated. You have to put in the work. So it's not something that works by itself. It doesn't work by itself. You have to put in the work for it to be able to work by itself. You need to create out time, you know, to be able to work out your marriage. Yeah.
So truthfully, these whole issues of marriage and the problems that comes with it, really, I will like some point now, like a guide. Like one, we have to understand that bonding is very important in marriage. In as much as many of us, we came into the marriage with expectations from the husband, expectations from the wife. You expect your wife to remain as looking as beautiful as she was when you just got married to her. The wife also expects the husband to still keep spending and keep the fitness that he has with him. Maybe you are looking at the husband, he has 6 packs, he has all those, and they was very okay financially, at least when you met him. But like my wife just said, when responsibility hits you, you kind of like, it changes everything, and it changes your mentality towards marriage itself. Because we all go into marriage because we feel like it's rosy, it's fun, it's the way people out there shows their marriages out there. Really inside the marriage, they know what they are really going through, and they know it really. So bonding is very, very important. You have to create time to bond with each other, understand each other, what you like, what you don't like, discuss it, so you'll be able to get along with each other. When I say bonding, I mean you need time. You need to create time for each other. You need to really create time for each other. Have time for even fun. Have time to go out, play, away from house, away from your responsibilities at home, away from the children. You need to have time to bond and create time for each other. You have to talk to each other. You have to open up and discuss issues that you have. We all have issues in our marriage. We all have time that we tend to disagree with things that is between us. But the ability to come together and discuss it, iron it out together, that's what makes us a perfect or at least a fair marriage. That's what makes it fair. So if you are not able to discuss things, if you don't talk, if you don't have time to communicate these things together as couples, you will have serious issues. I don't give you room to express yourself, to express your love to me, how you want to be loved. And you too, you don't give me the room to express myself how I want to be loved. Then we have a problem with marriage. So spacing, you have to space our children the way you have to space the way you give birth to your children, to the kids, because it's very important. We must learn to space our children the way we give birth to the kids. It's very, very important, so that it will not accumulate a lot of pressure on us. It will not put pressures on us. School fees, remember, rent is there, bills, other bills are there. The children are coming closely towards the same age. It's going to bring a lot of problem, a lot of pressures to you. Above all, let us just have this understanding. As couples, you must come together to play your role and have the understanding before you come into the marriage. Because if you have that understanding, you will not come with that huge expectation that many of us have brought to our marriage. So we are not saints. Also, we have learned, we have gone through the stages, and we have learned a lot of things from people around us, from other marriages that we witnessed also, and we are better from the way we started. So
thank you for watching. Thank you for always joining us here. Thank you for always taking out your time to listen to what we have to tell you. So basically, generally, what we are saying in essence is that we know a lot of us come into marriage unprepared. We just come into marriage with the pressures from the society, the pressures from, oh, you're aging, or the pressures of the love that you have for your partner. You come into marriage with that without getting prepared for what you are going to face in marriage. So we are just trying to let you know that coming into marriage, number one thing is spacing your children before and after. You have to space your children. You have to have time to bond. Like my husband has mentioned, you have to have time to bond. He has talked about spacing your children. You have to space your children. You have to look for time to bond. You have to check up on each other if the other person is doing well. You have to watch out for all of these things. Or else, at the end of the day, you realize that both spouses are either depressed or one of them is depressed. And then, you tend up not enjoying your marriage, but you not start enjoying your marriage. So, basically, these are just the few, things that we can actually discuss with you today. It's not actually everything.
There's a lot more.
But with this, we are just urging you to prepare yourself before you come into marriage. Don't just allow marriage to happen to you. You should be the one to happen to marriage and tell what marriage should do to you. So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us today. We love you and God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Please encourage us to keep bringing you more messages. Like, share, and subscribe to our videos. God bless you. We love you. Bye.